Good evening, this is your AI host, Jay. I'm here with the automatically generated Journato evening headlines on April 26, 2022. YouTuber's pilot license revoked after he crashed plane to get views. Sky News: YouTuber deliberately crashed his own plane for views, U.S. aviation agency says. The Guardian: YouTuber Trevor Jacob flies into a storm over faking plane crash for clicks and likes. The Telegraph: FAA suspends pilot's license, saying he crashed plane for YouTube video. The Washington Post: YouTuber Trevor Jacob loses pilot license for crashing plane as a stunt. Xinjiang: UN team in China ahead of visit by human rights chief. The Guardian: UN team reaches China ahead of human rights chief's first visit since 2005. The Independent: UN rights team in China ahead of Xinjiang visit. McConnell was exhilarated by Trump's apparent January 6 downfall, book says. The Guardian: McConnell called Trump despicable and was exhilarated that he discredited himself, new book claims. The Independent: exhilarated McConnell said January 6 discredited Trump, book says. 3 endangered Sumatran tigers found dead in traps in Indonesia. The Guardian: Indonesia: 3 Sumatran tigers killed after getting caught in traps, as numbers dwindle to about 400. Sky News: critically endangered Sumatran tigers lose 3 to animal traps. The Independent: 3 critically endangered Sumatran tigers lost to animal traps. Antony Blinken says U.S. must not let up in support for Ukraine against Russia. Live. The Guardian: U.S. Secretary of State Blinken testifies at Senate budget hearing, watch live. Guardian News, video, watch live, Blinken testifies at Senate budget hearing. Marjorie Taylor Greene texted Trump chief of staff urging martial law to overturn election. The Guardian: CNN obtains 2,319 texts that Mark Meadows gave to January 6 panel. CNN: texts reveal Marjorie Taylor Greene wanted Trump to declare martial law. The Independent: new details underscore House GOP role in January 6 planning. The New York Times: what Cassidy Hutchinson's testimony means for the January 6 criminal case. Kim Jong-un says North Korea will use nuclear weapons at any time if threatened. The Guardian: North Korea: Kim Jong-un vows to boost his nuclear arsenal at maximum speed. Sky News: Kim Jong-un pledges that North Korea will be ready to fire nuclear weapons. The Times: North Korea flexes new missiles at military parade. Ukraine war: UN stands ready to mobilize to save lives in Mariupol, chief says after frank talks in Moscow. Sky News: Zelensky accuses Russia of building Millennial Reich and says Putin will lose. The Independent: UN boss Antonio Guterres calls for humanitarian corridors in Ukraine after meeting Sergei Lavrov in Moscow. Evening Standard: UN Secretary-General urges Russia to commit to ceasefire in Ukraine. NBC News: UN chief tells Russia that Ukraine ceasefire is needed as soon as possible. Moldova raises terror threat to highest level after blasts in pro-Russian breakaway region of Transnistria. The Independent: live news updates, Moscow warns Ukraine will break up if West continues to support Kyiv. Financial Times: Moldova holds security meeting after blasts in pro-Russia breakaway region. The Guardian: Russia says it would like not to have to intervene in Transnistria after unexplained attacks. The Telegraph: explosions hit state security building in Transnistria. Janjaweed militia blamed for attacks that left at least 200 dead in Darfur. Ukraine war: entirely legitimate for Kyiv to hit military targets in Russia using Western weapons, minister says. Sky News: Russia warns Ukraine conflict could lead to World War III, BBC News. BBC News: minister backs Ukraine carrying out Russia strikes with British weapons. The Guardian: Ukraine war: Russia says it is engaged in war with NATO and tells the West to stop supplying weapons to Ukraine. Sky News: Russia effectively at war with NATO, Lavrov says as he calls Western weapons legitimate targets. This was all for the news. Thanks for listening. Please do not forget to like and subscribe.